Hey everybody, good morning, good morning. It is the 4th of February 2025. It's about 8:25 in the morning here, and I'm going to do just a real quick update on the S&P 500. I did a real interesting trade wars video yesterday where I talked about tariffs and what the impact might be. It was more of an educational video, but in this video I aim to look at the current price action on the S&P 500 to make a determination whether or not we are doom and gloom in the short term or if things are sort of back to normal. Before I get into all this, as you all know, it's not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research, and I'm just one voice out here in the herd, just giving my opinion on the market. So let's go ahead and take a look at things. So looking at the S&P 500, just looking at all of the different waves that have been happening here, I want to take a look at structure, and I want to take a look at Fibonacci. I also want to take a little bit of a look at Elliott wave theory as well. So what I'm going to be doing here is looking at the low back here, which was in August of 2024, back when the S&P 500 was about 5120 or so, and we ascended and we did a good pullback there, right? So we did a nice pullback into what I'm calling a wave 2. From there, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into wave 3. It's a little bit choppy here. It's not super clean, but I can count a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here into a 1, 2, and then we've got, again, just a really, really choppy move up here to finish this potential wave 3. And then, of course, we do see a very clean, A, B, C move down. So this is a very clean correction. And when I'm looking at this as a wave 3 going into wave 4, what I'm always going to be looking for is a pullback to the 382. If it's a very bullish market, we'll take a look back to the 236. We came back to the 382, which was here at about 58.25. We tested it once, twice, 3 times. We went a little deep, but we saw a nice reaction out of there, and we basically broke an important trend line, which I'm going to talk about. So the trend line that we broke is this guy right here. So we have a clean set of diagonal resistance, and we broke through it. We claimed it as support, and this was back on January 25th, and that's the 27th, my bad. So we claimed that as support on January 27th, and then we saw another pullback back here down to, and this was 2 days ago. This would have been Monday, right? The February 3rd. We were talking about all of the trade stuff that was going on, the tariffs, and everybody was scared. But we basically tested that again, and so this level tends to be important to me because it was resistance many times, and now it has been support 3 times. I do count this as support because we did a little bit of a gap up. There's a little test that happened there. We tested it again here. We tested it again here. We had a good reaction off of it. Now, what we really need to do is we need to continue to move up and out of there. What I will say, if I go down to a 1-hour time frame, is this looks like another correction. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this as an A, B, C. This looks very corrective. So what would be our upside targets? Well, again, using Fibonacci, if we take this as our measured move from this dominant pivot low to this dominant pivot high, and we get this pullback, making the assumption that that is where we stop and we don't go back and retest these lows, which we certainly could do, right? What we could see is here in just a couple days, we could see us all the way back down to about 5,900. That would be okay still, because even that would be another test of not just this trend line that was broken, but this one right here, which I'll talk about a little bit more. I want to try and do this here in about 5 minutes or less, and we're really pushing it. So just taking a look at this, let's go ahead and see where our upside targets might be for this. All right, so let's go ahead and put our template on here for the 690, the 100, the 123.6. So we've got a level right here at about 62.80, which is likely going to be an important level to get through. But ultimately, I would love to see us come up here to about 6,500. Now, I'm not talking about a move to 6,500 this week. I'm really talking about sometime in the next month to see us go all the way back up to 6,500, maybe even just a little bit higher than that. So right here at about 65.25, that's the level that I'm going to be watching for an upside target for resistance. So that's going to be where I'm going to be watching for a reaction to the downside, and that potentially could start the volatility that I was talking about for 2025 when things start to go sideways. I did a bit of a presidential update on TradingView. Feel free to go over there and check that out, where I looked at presidential cycles. I am expecting Donald Trump's presidency to be very volatile and to introduce corrections in the market, which he will not be afraid to do in order to get what he is looking for the United States. So it would not surprise me one bit for us to get up to 6,500, see a nice reaction off of that, and start to see a bigger correction. Now, what is this trend line here that I was talking about? Well, if I go back out to a 4-hour time frame, let's just go ahead and pull this out and take a look at this. So from all the way back here, and this was on October of 2023 when the S&P 500 was at about 4,100. We've got a low here, and then we have a test right here, and then we've got this test here where we did the 382. So that's why I'm saying that it would be okay for us to retest this level again later this week, maybe Thursday, Friday this week. Getting a good test of about 5,900 would be ideal. That would be a place that I would be interested in adding to some positions. Now, if we break this level, what would be our target that we would be looking at? No, okay, so we've got this pivot here, this pivot here. Two pivots make a trend line, and you have to have a significant pivot. I would say this is a significant pivot, this is a significant pivot. So if we extend this, our target would be, looking at maybe May, our target would be somewhere around 5,200. Now, again, we can certainly go a lot lower than that. In my presidential video, I explained what some of those levels might be, but these are the levels that I am going to be watching for. So first things first, we really need to continue to hold this level right here for us to see that move up to that 6,500 that I was talking about. So the 6,500, 6,520, that area is where I will be watching, and so that's what I'm going to be looking for. So let's see here. I've got somebody that's watching that wants to see a few things on some crypto coins. So I'm going to do a separate video on crypto, separate video on altcoins. So stay tuned for that, because I'll be doing some videos on crypto here in the near future as well. So thank you for watching. If this video helped you in any way, shape, or form, you know the deal. Like, subscribe, share. If you need access to our Discord, you can find all that information on BitDoctor.org. If you need access to our indicators or trades, all of that, you can find all that information on BitDoctor.org. Last but not least, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a great day, a great night, and a great evening. Take care.